So, this is part two. Um, I already forgot what I left off at. It took me a long time to finish this one. If it's coming up. Then I got a call from the Better Business Bureau. I had called and reported to Greyhound Bus Company because I hadn't heard anything back about my luggage. Uh, I know there's many detectives that are out there, and apparently some are working independent contractors. And you know they spend their money, or they don't want to spend their money because it'll put them in a deficit even after the case. They don't get paid for doing what they're doing. They pay them like monthly, and a lot of them don't save money. And so when it comes time for a case, they don't have the money to fund the case. And so from my understanding, that's where some of the money is going, or your benefits. As I was stating earlier, the phone call I had received. They'll call and have you go places, and they'll deny you, and they're going to take it, you know. They'll have them move you out of places. They'll lie to them. They get scared of them for threats or whatnot. And they'll move in them just so they can have a place to stay while they're investigating. Several of them are not from here because the case is apparently so big it includes government. And so some of them are coming from overseas, and several of them don't like using their money. Many of them don't like using their money. They'll try to use your money. And so Better Business Bureau was close out the case. How are you going to close out the case? I'm not understanding, you know. And so what was told to me is maybe the phone is tapped. One of the government officials contacted them, but they rested assured that they wouldn't get away with it. And that if it is indeed an Obama, which they know it is, they know for a fact that it's Obama from the notations. But many will have to answer. They will not gang up and get off. They know what to do. And from my understanding that they are sending people after the phone calls, after the conversation, and saying, do not do it. You know, don't do what they say. And when now they were getting killed or murdered, they were killing them for obeying Obama. Because Obama was doing what the country did not want him to do. I had a friend that proclaims, said that she's seen him and that he didn't look like he looked. Do you want me to walk to the store? What you going to eat?
Pizza?
There's no more. I ate the last two. I'm going to go to the store in a minute. I'm going to walk to the store in the next 15 minutes and get some cereals and milk and some bread. You put on some clothes and we go around the corner and sit down and eat. Either at the breakfast place or at the Red Lobster. So, she said she saw him in person and he did not look the same. He is ugly. Well, her point was she wanted to make a point about doing makeup art. And a lot of folks that you see, she was looking at my pictures. And I said, that's me. I didn't add, subtract, multiply, or divide. I have my days. I have my fluffy days. I have my days, y'all. I tell you what. If I get a man, he's not going to be looking at me for appearance. And I'm not going to look for him as appearance. I think there's some things more in demand than others now at this stage of life. I think we want to be more loved on than anything. How passionate he is, how caring he is, affectionate and stuff like that is what we look for. And how, you got to be able to pick up whether this is real too. Discern if this is if he's like that. You can tell if a man is truly affectionate. It's more than that what you do on your first year. That's why you have to just give it some time and get comfortable in his arms. It'll show you if he feels like he's still standing back off of you, but he's trying to act. You got to get past the acts. Get past what is fake, right? And so if he's comfortable and you're comfortable, this is just who he is. You know whether or not you're comfortable. That's why you can't be anxious. You got to be able to get comfortable so you can feel him. And so you can't go into any relationship doubting because it's going to always make you reject. And when you reject, you can't really feel him because you're moving back off of him. You got to be able to stand in humbleness. And when I say humbleness, as I said, is lowly, just, hey, it's here. It's as if almost you don't care. Your heart is not in anything you don't care about. And so when you're humbled, as the Lord is doing, he's guarding your heart. You cannot be afraid to try things. So when you go into the relationship, first of all, some of us got to come, as I say, stand straight up. Because we're laying down. And what that means is the minute someone will come, you'll run for them. You're anxious. You're anxious. And anxiousness is opposite of being humble. You're in a rush. You're jittery. You're not controlled. And so the minute something will happen, you start leading to your understanding because you're hungry for it. You start assuming. And so in a relationship, if you learn to humble yourself, hey, he's there. If you're just enjoying the moment, let me enjoy the moment. I mean, don't look for long term. And nowadays, women, you got to almost accept anything in the beginning. I mean, come on. That's what a relationship is. Men, as they always said, women outnumber men. But I'm going to tell you something else. I heard this morning in my spirit. Homosexuality is very much in demand. There are men out there. Nowadays, you think another woman is robbing you, and it's another man. Yeah, and some of you women are getting to the point to where you're accepting the man because it's just affection. You say it's the same thing anyway. We're living in a world of, what is promiscuous? Promiscuous is another word for it, but it's mean promiscuous. And so, regardless, as I told someone earlier, even if you try hard not to sleep with a man who's homosexual, a man who goes both ways, if you sleep with a female that sleeps with him, then you might as well. Or if you sleep with another male, so you sleep with the male sleep with the female. And if she's sleeping with a homosexual, same thing. You got to almost find someone to say, okay, I want to let the men know who are straight. This is a season for you to be straight. Get you one woman you know about, know her character, and sit down with her. Because if you're trying not to pick up what comes from a homosexual or come to those who committing homosexual acts, which are anal sex is very dangerous. And whenever you're dealing with someone who's having anal, be it a homosexual or straight, it is still the same anal. And there's a lot of feces in the anal. And it's a lot of new stuff that's being tried today also. So you got to almost get you a woman and sit down with her. Get you a fresh woman. She ain't got to be a virgin. You just got to know her ways. And sit down with her and be faithful. This is really the season of being faithful. Some of you say, well, we already got it. Because it's been out there, right? But I believe God knows. And if you take heed to his warning, he'll protect you from what you didn't know. God always seemed to cover us from ignorance. And then when you come into the season of knowing, he wants you to be aware. That means, okay, now it's coming up on you. When you were ignorant, I know how to keep you. Can't nothing out there really touch you. It can't harm you. I mean, come on. Some folks say, well, did you take your yearly mammogram? I'm not going to take yearly nothing because I don't need nobody digging in me and telling me you have something I'm telling you and it's not there. I don't care what you may see. The glimpse, I remember Queen Latifah show. I ain't got time for you to go tell, You may see something, yeah, but it's not what you think it is. It's what you called it. It's not, but it wasn't that. That's what I've always believed. If I don't have any symptoms of anything, I'm not going to the hospital. Believe that. I don't need, if it's not bothering me, well, we can prolong your life. No, you can't. I believe strongly that God has the keys of life and death. That's why I'm still here today. And I know we jumped totally to a whole new subject, and my time is almost up. I got a minute and a half. But I am a firm believer that God is a keeper of the body. But in this day and time, you almost have to get you someone that you know is settled. And when you are settled, you can feel whether or not he's real when it comes to being intimate, when it comes to being caring and loving. There are men out there who are very caring and who are very loving. And this is what we're looking for in this season. We're not looking for someone, to judge us by the way we look. But she was looking at my picture, and she was talking about how beautiful the picture was. And says, I would like to see you in person. Is that how you really look? I said, yeah, that's just a regular phone camera. A lot of folks now, they use those trick cameras, right? No, that's me. This is just one of them cheap cameras that they keep breaking. In fact, if it could make me even better than that, they probably would have broke it up already, right? Because I have some folks that works on my cameras and Dodge, But nevertheless, so as we were discussing, the BBB, Better Business Bureau, apparently closed the case, and we still don't have a response from the other places, and we do understand that there are some folks still involved, some government officials. Someone asked me also, why is it that they're not? And why is it that Sheila's out on the street? Why is she on the street? She should be behind bars, right? So she can do more damage. I mean, and why is she even, it's just long, carried out, drawn out situation. And that we just continue to keep lifted up in prayer.